Good morning, YouTube. Engineer Boy 100 here. These are my old Coney struts that I put on maybe a few years back. Coney Street version. They have been excellent, and I'm gonna be keeping them. But I'm gonna be pulling a little trailer, and I want to have a little bit more stiffness and a little bit more adjustability. So today I'm gonna be installing, believe it or not, coilovers, and here they are. These are awesome. Take a look. These coilovers are fully adjustable, and when I say fully adjustable, I mean all three areas of adjustment: height, spring tension, and damper, both front and rear. So we're going to go ahead and install these, road test them, and I'll report what I feel and how I think these little coilovers stack up. Now the price was like $4.95 shipped, and that's pretty good. $125 a piece shipped for coilovers that are fully adjustable. These are the only ones I could find at this price point with this level of adjustability. So if these work, we have ourselves a really nice set of coilovers. Let's get them installed and take them for a test. Let's take a closer look at what comes in the box. The kit includes 2 wrenches necessary for the different adjustments. And as you can see here on the top, this is the front strut. Here's the adjustment in case you have camber issues. Here is your adjustment for your dampening of your actual shock inside. If you look down here on this other one, this is the rear. This is the height adjustment, and this is the tension adjustment on the spring. This is a really nice setup. So if this works the way it's supposed to, I'm going to be very happy. And before we forget, these are the Rev9 Hyper Street IIs. So I want to point out the quality of shipping. They came with cushioning. They came each in individual plastic bags, and they came double boxed, undamaged, unscratched, and shipped quickly. So that speaks volumes for the shipper and the person that I bought them from, that I will have listed in the comments, and I'll tell you who it is at the end of the video. The first thing I'm going to do is take off this 14mm bolt and relieve the brake line from the strut. Next, I'm going to take the caliper off and hang it with a bungee cord by removing the 2 17mm bolts. To remove the original struts, we're going to take the bottom bolt off first. They are 19mm, or if you don't have a 19mm, the same size is 3/4 inch. Now all we have to do is remove the top 3 bolts and remove the strut. The 3 nuts on top are 12 millimeter. Loosen these up. I'm going to have to pick my strut bar up as well so that we can put the strut underneath it. The strut bars are really cool suspension components. This thing here is a strut bar, and believe it or not, it's not just for racing applications. It actually smooths out the ride. It makes the bumps in the road go into the shock instead of making the body of the car tweak in like that. It holds it steady and forces that shock from bumps in the road into the shock, smoothing out the ride. So a lot of people don't do it. They think, oh, that's just for racing. No, it's actually not just for racing. I'm gonna hold this so it doesn't fall. All right, see, and it comes out pretty easy. And then we'll take it out from underneath. Okay, see if we can move this around a bit. Get it out like so. And these are really, really good struts. I'm going to hang on to these conies because if things don't work out, these are going right back in. Okay, on adjusting these really nice Rev9s, as you can see, the 2 struts have 2 different adjustments right now. The first one I've already adjusted to the height that I want. These go all the way from stock to very, very low. So I'll show you how to adjust it, and I'll also show you how much adjustment these actually have. It's pretty significant. One point I really want to stress is these 2 rings right here, do not adjust. Do not adjust these. You don't want to try and adjust the spring tension because it's adjusted from the factory and it has the right spring tension that it's supposed to have, the preload that it's supposed to have for the weight of the vehicle that it has been specified for. So now let me show you how much adjustment there is and how I adjusted mine. We'll cover the dampening adjustment after they've been installed on the car. Okay, as you can see, the strut goes all the way to the bottom of this housing here. And that is the length of adjustment that you have, all the way from here all the way up to here. Now there are threads from about this point to this point. And what I did was I looked down the barrel once I had screwed this down on the other one, and I'll show you that. Let me just grab that one now so you understand. Okay, so looking down this barrel, this is how much I have adjusted mine. Okay, so that's how I got this height. So you have to kind of play around with it to figure out what you want, but the way I did it by comparison was I used my old strut as reference, and I knew the height that I wanted, and then I just adjusted the height and compared it to the old strut. If you want to adjust it later on, you will have to take this loose from the hub. Okay, so to adjust the height, you want to loosen this bottom ring like so, and that will allow you to turn this mount piece. There's a little spring in here. I'll show you that little spring that adds tension to this. And once you tighten this back, you want to tighten it with the smaller of the 2 supplied wrenches, the smaller one. Okay. So then to adjust it, you simply turn the housing like so, and then compare the height to your old strut until you get the height you want. Then you tighten this back down like so and cinch it with the wrench. You want to get it pretty tight. Okay, just cinch it down. And that's it. Alright guys, I put the coilovers on, front and back, and the front is like 1 inch too high for my liking, and the rears are about 2 inches too high. So I'm going to take them all off and I'm going to adjust the height. And in this little section of the video, I'm going to show you how to adjust the height. And I'm also going to give you a really important tip about the height compared to stock height. When I installed the fronts and the rears, I adjusted the coilovers to be the exact same height as stock. But when I installed them on a vehicle, they were actually about 1 inch higher. And the reason for that is the stiffer springs don't deflect as much when the weight of the car is put on. So it ends up being even higher than stock when you adjust them and you put them on the ground and you compare them side by side. They're the same height. The stock, when the car's on, the stock will go down a little more because the springs are softer. So 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch, depending on the car, is going to be the deflection difference. So if you want it to be exactly stock height, put it about 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch lower than stock to actually get it to be stock height. So I put mine on, I looked at it, I measured. So look, there's a hollow portion in the base that I showed you guys earlier. I'm going to use that to measure with this ruler how far exactly I want it to be. So I want this to be like 1 inch lower than it is. So I put this ruler in here, okay, and I measure it, and it's 2, let me put it the right way, because I already measured, I already know it's a 3 and 2/16, okay, 2/16 or 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to screw this thing down, and the way you adjust it is you just screw it onto these threads, and I'm going to remeasure it when it's 1 inch less than that. Just like this. This is lowering, 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 because it's compressing this. It's lowering it, and I want it to be 2 inches. Basically, I want it to be exactly 2 inches. So I'm going to, screw it down. Now, if you don't have a ruler like this, it doesn't matter. You can use a popsicle stick. Just mark it. Measure it and mark it where you want it and stick it in here. That's how you're going to get an exact reading for both sides. So right now I'm getting close. So I'm just going to go down a little bit more, and then I'm going to measure it again. And oh boy, we're there. We're almost. Yeah, we're there, right there. So that's exactly 2 inches. So if I take this out, put my finger here, and I take it out, you can see, I hope you can see, that that is 2 inches. So now all I gotta do is tighten this down, reinstall this, and this will be the same. Now, if I do the same thing on the other side, I'll know that both sides are exactly the same height. So now we'll install the new coilover and hold it in place with the top nuts. Okay, so installing the rears, let me give you another quick tip. Down where the brake line actually attaches to the base of the strut, here's my conies, and I have a nice little cut here that you can see, so that the thin line can go through and I don't have to disconnect my brake and then bleed the braking system. All right, see, the new ones don't have that. So I'm gonna take a Dremel to it and put this cut in here so I don't have to take my brake lines loose. That will be up to you. It's just a heads up so you can be prepared. Okay, the left side is all installed. Looks great. All we have to do is tighten everything up, do the other side, do the rears, and adjust the dampening. In the next video, we'll do road tests. Thanks for watching.